You're watching BBC News. Israel is in deep uncertainty. Last night, the Knesset passed a bill which strips the judiciary of a power to overrule the government if it has acted unreasonably. It's not a power that is often used, but it was employed in January when the court ruled the appointment of a minister was unreasonable in the extreme because of his previous criminal convictions. The government was forced to remove him. Last night, thousands came out onto the streets in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, blocking highways and clashing with security forces. The government is now facing a revolt by reservists who are refusing to serve, although it's not yet clear how many reservists are involved or whether they would maintain that boycott during a major crisis. Hen Matzik, he is a senior fellow with the Tel Aviv Institute. Welcome. Thank you for being with us. Let's just step back, because before the election, Benjamin Netanyahu engineered a coalition, a bloc of what were essentially far-right fringe parties, ultra-religious nationalists. Deep questions now about democracy in Israel, but the government would say, look, this was always part of our agenda, people voted on it, and that is democracy.
Yeah, democracy means a liberal democracy, rather. What Israel is a place where people vote and the government make decisions, and then there should be checks and balances to make sure that the liberal democracy nature of the country maintains. If there would be anything that is, we don't have a constitution, but if there would be anything that would harm minorities, that's what the Supreme Court in Israel has been doing for so long, since the beginning. It was protecting minorities, and at this point we're seeing that the government is trying to strip them of these rights, and it's really concerning for many Israelis. Israel is a booming economy, it's a startup nation, and to see that the economy is going down, I mean, what they're doing to Israel, Liz Truss has resigned for far less than what's happening to the Israeli economy today.
You talked about military service. We must talk about the reservists. We don't know how many reservists are signing up to this boycott, but I mean, would they withdraw service in the event of a crisis, in the event of a crisis on the northern border or within Gaza? How far would they take that?
I'm a reservist myself, and I know that even though I oppose the judicial overhaul, I would still come to reserve when I'll be called. I think that's something that Israelis are doing. I think that they are very concerned, rightfully so. I mean, we're speaking about 400 pilots that said that they're not going to show up, and I think they're just voicing their deep fear of the future. I do think that they would show up. I don't think that Israel would be left without an army, but it's a clear red sign for the Israeli government to stop and to rethink how we're moving forward. And it's a call for, I've been in the studio so many times defending Israel against international scrutiny, and today I'm here to tell Israel and to tell Jews and Israelis around the world that we have to stand up for our country, because the future will be grim if we won't stop this.
Just a brief word on the protest movement. They packed up last night after the vote in the early hours of the morning. Where is that protest movement now? Does it peter out because the bill has gone through, or does it sustain?
I think it sustains, and I think that according to the polls, you've seen that a majority of Israelis are against continuing with this legislation, and they have done what they have set to achieve. I think the protest must continue, and we must speak up, and we must stop this legislation, and it's for the future of Israel, of our country that we love, is on stake.
Hen Matzik, Senior Fellow with the Tel Aviv Institute. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.